Hey guys, welcome to episode 3.
Episode 3, 3 days since we recorded the last one?
Yeah, because we recorded what?
I don't know.
What we recorded Wednesday or Thursday, I think. Wednesday, I don't know.
Yeah, we're Sunday now, so whatever.
I don't know. It's whatever. It is Sunday, which means that we are going to be a bit closer to actual drop day.
Right. Drop tomorrow, Monday.
Yeah, Monday morning. Hopefully, we can schedule it. Get things out.
So we're going to do something a little different this time. We're going to try and split it in half. So if you guys want, if you guys are busy and you split it in half anyways, we're going to try and kind of segue somewhere in the middle. Yeah, around 30 minutes.
Yeah, like we had mentioned last episode, we're going to split this one so that, you can listen to half of it in the morning maybe when you're getting ready and then half of it before bed. So that way you're not, sitting there for an hour at a time. I mean, when I listen to podcasts, I normally just browse through my phone. I'll send Snapchats or whatnot, but I'll just listen.
Right.
So, I mean, you guys can do that before bed or when you wake up in the morning, because I know when I wake up, I do not move.
Yeah. Well, and it's not like it's going to be two completely different episodes. It's going to be basically the same topic, just kind of split up to where it's easier to listen to for some people.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be a little different, maybe.
Some people's attention span isn't there for an hour. I'm like mine.
Yeah.
It disappears after like 10 minutes.
ADHD. Gang.
Yeah, but I also have ADD, so it's like
I got them all.
I have no idea what's going on.
All the acronyms.
ADD, ADHD, OCD,
HIV.
Whoa, okay, not that one. not that one. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, we posted on Instagram, and we asked you guys, and we got some great responses about what topics you guys would want to, hear about, what you guys might need to hear about. And I think the one we decided on is kind of serious. It's going to be harder to, take a bit lighthearted, but it was by my friend Ethan, and it's the meaning of life.
That's deep.
Real deep.
We're just trying to describe every single day of our life on Earth. That the meaning of it. That's going to be pretty intense.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you can almost make it motivational.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of our game plan anyways, is like we said, we want to motivate you guys to wake up every day and enjoy how good your day is.
And even if you can't enjoy that day, hopefully enjoy the grand scheme, the bigger picture of life, because some days suck. I mean, that's the hardest thing to figure out about life. There's going to be valleys and there's going to be some deep ditches and it's going to be fucking hard to get out of those, but
Yeah, that's true. Before we get started, I do want to ask, what's one good thing that happened this week and one bad thing that happened this week?
Well, one good thing, I don't know. I guess a bad thing would be that I probably didn't eat enough.
Yeah, I mean, you are a bigger guy for lifting. Yeah,
220 pounds. Got to eat a lot of. I got to eat a lot of food, so probably didn't eat enough. I was stressed, it's work and stuff. And I don't think we really ever got into that. What I do for work, so I'm 23. I guess on the last podcast I said 24. I'm bad with those.
Well, what year were you born?
98. So I'm 23.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm 22, turning 23 in October. Anyways, yeah, I'm bad.
Okay.
23. I don't know.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Anyways, so grew up in Illinois, went to JUCO for a year and a half, and then came down to Kansas, took a year off of school. And I'm still in that year off of school because I know I'm probably not going to go back. It's been, 2.5 years, I guess, or whatever.
No, that's not a year break, dog.
No, it was supposed to be a year break, but it didn't work out. And I bought into a company, and so I run that company, do a little real estate on the side. Some
your
show
main
cows,
job?
Yeah, some show cow stuff. Some what?
Your main job with the big trucks?
Yeah. So the trucking company, that's the one I bought into.
Yep.
It's kind of a shitty job, kind of a shitty deal. Contracted around Kansas to spread manure for feedlots and ranches and use that as regenerative agriculture to.
So quite literally, it is a crappy job.
It is a crappy job. It's almost like the garbage man. It's a garbage job, but it pays pretty good and it's not too bad. It's kind of probably a stepping stone in life, but you got to have those, and that's that probably ties right into a perfect thing of.
Not every day is going to be great. Not every situation is going to be great, but you got to make the most of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there are things in life that you do, whether they be a day or a month or a year or a couple of years, that probably aren't your dream. They're probably not what you want to be doing every day and what you would desire to be doing every day. I'd rather own a gym and get paid to work out and do real estate on the side, but I just don't have enough money for that right now. So that's a stepping stone, and that's the hardest part about life is some things just suck, and some things you just got to push through to get to better times in life. So
yeah. And as for myself, I'm officially an adult. I'm 18.
Yo.
I know, I hate it, but we're here. And I am a chiropractor's assistant, so I'm used to breaking backs. And I also work at the gym. I'm a front desk associate, and I kind of welcome people in. It pays minimum wage at the gym, but I get a free membership, which is nice. And then, that's how I met Devin, was at that gym. So if I wouldn't have done that, I probably wouldn't have met Devin. Yeah,
and man, if you have a job like that and you're motivated to do something better in life, whether it be whatever, working at Taco Bell or, being a car salesman or whatever, if that's what you're doing now and you have a desire to do something better in life, bigger and better in life, the relationships you can meet at a place like a gym or something as the front desk person, if you just talk to the right people, if you're just cordial and nice, man, those relationships can take you a long ways.
Yeah, and the other thing is at the chiropractic place, I normally work with older people.
Yeah.
But even then, I've made so many more connections. Like, I know people that are all over town, like that do just about any job you can imagine. I know about everyone. So I will say, like, I enjoy both of my jobs for the sole reason that I get to make connections with just about anyone. Sorry for that technical difficulty right there. Turned off the wrong microphone. But yeah, like I said, I enjoy my jobs. I enjoy making connections. I enjoy talking to people. Hearing different stories is probably one of the coolest things that I've gotten to do.
Hearing people's life.
Yeah, I've met people that are in the military. I've met people that have had some horrible experiences in the military, and some that have great. I know plumbers all over town that you might. You call on them once in a while because, you need some plumbing done, but you probably have never sat and talked with them. Like I said, I've met just about everyone. I know some of my friends' parents now, which is real cool to see, kind of where they came from and, what their family life is like. So, yeah, I really enjoy both of my jobs for the sole reason that I get to talk to people.
Yeah, so should we transition into
our actual
main topic? Yeah, our main topic of the meaning of life.
Yeah, if you listen this far past, kind of our personal stuff, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for sticking in there with us.
Yeah, we will make a note that the actual topic does start around 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the meaning of life. Well, if you could define life in one sentence, how would you define it? One sentence.
Gosh. Life is a plethora of interesting times in your life, and some are going to suck.
Okay.
That's how I'd say it.
For myself, I'd say life is a test. That's it. And the only reason I say that is because every situation you are put in is a test of who you really are.
And a test, that's a not too bad of an analogy, actually, because a test in life, there's going to be a lot of problems that you're going to encounter, and a lot of those problems you're going to know about before you encounter the problem. Just like a test, you know that there are some things you need to study for, because you aren't as good in that topic or whatever.
Or like even preparing for a job interview.
Right.
Yep. And I was going to say, like, all the difficult situations in your life are learning experiences. And when you learn from them, most of the time, that's where a majority of your good experiences come from, because you've learned from your bad and then something good came out of it. The same thing is, people will come into your life. We've talked about it multiple times now, and, they will test what kind of person you are. You might end up making a wrong decision, but if you can get back on to a decision that's going to benefit your life, the test right there was, okay, well, you experience this stimulus, say life is like an experiment. Okay, well, we're continuously being put through different stimuli in order to reach our final destination, which, is ultimately death, but how did we get there?
Right. Well, and, that it goes right back to the title of our whole movement here. Life is unedited. And if there's things that happen in your life that you aren't particularly excited about or know that you shouldn't have done, you can't let those things bother you for too long, because all you're doing is backtracking and just, life is like subsidies. I don't know if you know much about subsidies, but the government subsidizes some categories of industry, right?
Yep.
So subsidies really don't help things if you really diagnose economics. Subsidies, the problem with subsidies is they're just like taking depression pills. Is a subsidy will fix the problem now, and they're hoping that those subsidies fix the problem now and that industry will evolve and get more efficient to where they don't have to subsidize later. But if you're subsidizing an industry and they're getting that money, I doubt they're taking that money and putting it into development, of how to get more efficient. Because if you keep giving those subsidies, they're going to keep on taking them,
Right.
And I've never been on depression medicine, so I'll just put that out there. But I've done a lot.
I was supposed to be, but I never took it.
I've done a lot of research on it, whether it be other podcasts or papers or whatever. And the biggest problem, I think, with depression or depression medicine, medications or whatever, is that it's really hard to say that the medication is what's fixing it.
Right.
The medication is just giving you enough serotonin to keep going through life and act like things are fine. A lot of people that are on depression medicine don't need the medicine. They need a better life.
Or they need help.
Yeah, they have things in their life, whether it be they have financial issues, or they're a drug addict, or they're they just have family issues or whatever. But instead of taking that medicine, fixing the problem will get them much farther in life.
Oh yeah,
and that's hard. That's really hard. There's been a lot of problems, just like you lost your dad, or didn't lose him, but never knew him, and that
right.
it
impacted me in some way.
Right. Especially probably when you're in your teenage years and whatever. I'm sure there were a lot of times where you're like, man,
I still don't know how to fish.
Right.
Like, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so hard to talk about depression and stuff because it is a deep subject, and I guarantee there have been times where I've been down a hole.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been down a deep hole of depression, and guaranteed no one knew. Maybe really close people to me could tell, but I never told anybody, and I think that's how a lot of people that are depressed are.
Well, the thing that I've come to realize is I almost feel like people are self-diagnosing depression. Now, I'm not taking depression lightly because I know it is very serious, and I had problems in the past with it personally, but I think that people now, especially with social media, are almost outreaching depression. Because if you have a bad day or if you're in a bad situation and then you post about it,
right?
Like, I understand you want help, but you should have friends. You should have someone. There's always going to be someone that's going to help you.
And if you don't, man, there's been a lot of times where there's been a lot of problems that none of my friends understood, or none of them could, none of them could relate to. And some things you just got to get through, man. Mm-hmm. Some things you just got to bear down and say, look, I know whatever's going on now sucks, and it's probably going to suck for a while, but looking back, when you wake up in the morning, looking back at how bad yesterday was doesn't help today.
No.
At all.
Unless you're going to learn from a bad experience that happened the day before.
Right. A lot of people, I think I mentioned this on the last topic or the last podcast or whatever, but about 3 weeks ago, I think about the same time I met you, I kind of had this epiphany in life about depression because I was real deep down in a hole. Mm-hmm. And man, there were a lot of days that I just hated my life.
Right.
Not to the point where I wanted to take it, but to the point of like, I just want to sell everything and move.
Right.
Just start over because I hated the path I was going to go down. And man, I listened to this podcast. It's a Joe Rogan podcast. I think it's like 1315 or 1350 maybe. If anybody listens to Joe Rogan, it's a Johan Hari podcast.
No idea.
He's been on there twice. I'm sure you don't know, but he wrote 2 books about depression. One was about depression, one was about drugs and how they related to each other. Mm-hmm. And most drug addicts are depressed. That's why they start doing drugs in the first place. Mm-hmm. And talked a lot about depression, yada, yada. So one day I just opened my eyes and thought, man, life really isn't that bad.
Oh, yeah. It could always be so much worse.
Right. And every morning I got on my Instagram and I just thought of things that, would motivate me if I was in a tough time.
Right.
And I was the one in the tough time.
Mm-hmm.
I was writing this basically for myself, but I was putting out there in public to it was almost like if I put it out there, I had to.
You had to think it.
Right. I had to be that person. I had to try and to equal what I was saying. I was, because I don't like to be that person
Hypocrite.
Right. I don't like to be a hypocrite. I really don't like to be a hypocrite. So anyways, and just by putting that positive stuff out in the morning completely changed my entire day. Dude. Literally, it completely changed my entire day. It was the craziest thing ever. Because when I woke up, I realized today's a new day. Tomorrow might have sucked. But if I think about, or yesterday, well, tomorrow might suck too, but whatever. Yeah. Yesterday, my bad. Yesterday might have sucked, but because yesterday sucked, today doesn't have to suck.
Yeah.
And man, it took me forever to get that through my mind.
I do the Twitter, and I post every time right when I wake up, I post something. And that has made a big change in my life. Yeah. And it's just like simple things. Like I don't post anything that's too far fetched. It's literally just like maybe a couple words and then a period.
Yep. And
just even reading that, I go through my day and I'm like, wow, like I said that, and now that I think about it, like I mean, it lasts the whole day where I'm just like,
and it's not like my days got any better.
Oh yeah,
my days were exactly the same as they were before I started putting the post on Instagram in the morning, but that outlook on life, that perspective, that that positive perspective instead of a negative perspective, it makes adversity. There's going to be adversities throughout your day, difficulties, whether it's dealing with a bad customer, or talking to your boss that you don't like, or waking up and seeing your parents that you don't appreciate, or whatever, or your car breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have that good outlook on life, just a more positive outlook on life, not a real positive one. Mm-hmm. We're not trying to make huge. We
want you to be realistic,
right? Trying to go for just minor steps up the category, up positivity to where life is.
Well, I thought I made a good point today on Twitter. I said positivity will always be greater than negativity. Think of that in a math term. You have the greater, the gator sign,
mm-hmm.
like the little arrow.
The greater than.
Yeah. If you think about math, positivity will forever be greater than negativity.
Right.
Always. And that's in every scenario.
Right.
Like that is proven. So like even in your everyday life, think about it like that. Every time you are positive, you will have a better outlook, you'll have a better outcome than if you sit there and you feed on the negativity that you're thinking or that has been going on. Because truth is, if you feed on the negativity, more negative things will come because you're just going to keep looking for it.
Right. So I actually pulled up one of these Instagram posts I had. I think this one's probably the most relatable to the podcast. I didn't even think I was going to do this, but here we go. So this is what I said. I said, lately there's been some banter as to why I'm making these posts. 10% of my reason is to get my day going in the right direction, which is what we were just talking about. From the minute I wake up, because I would do it in the right when I woke up, I'd lay in bed and I'd post it. I said, the minute I wake up, almost as a daily affirmation. 90% of my reason is because Johan Hari, the guy that was on the podcast, opened my eyes to the disgust of American mental health. Life is unedited, folks. You can't turn back time and change the things you don't like. Stop wallowing in self-pity. If you don't change your life's direction, no one else will. I know when I'm on my deathbed, I'll look back and see all the things I accomplished because I keep pushing. What will you look back and see? You only have one life and it can end at any time. Don't waste it on the things you can't change.
True inspiration. Absolutely motivational. Okay, so sorry for the sarcasm there, but that is really that was really deep.
Yeah. I mean,
was that like after your morning coffee?
No, that was in bed. That was
just hanging out
early. It was just one of those things. Everybody's wondering if I'm depressed and things, and I'm going to tell them, what's up.
Right.
That's what it was.
And yeah, I mean, going back to the positivity realist, pessimist, optimist. I had a conversation with some of my family members, and they asked me why I was so negative. And I was like, I'm not negative, I'm realistic. And they're like, no, you sound like a pessimist. And I was like, well, to a pessimist, I sound like an optimist. And they were like, well, what do you mean? Because a pessimist will forever find the negativity in things. They will always, shoot things down, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
An optimist, they will forever, push things up. Everything's great, but truth is, life's not great, and it never will be. And it, no matter what situation you're in, there'll always be bad things. Something's always going to come, and then what do you do then? Okay? You can't, you can make the most of every situation, but you also have to realize that life's not perfect, and it never will be. And so being a realist, seeing things in a more positive light, but also seeing the negative things in life and learning from it.
Yep.
I feel like I've learned so much more about like who I'm going to become, what I'm going to do. Because I at first I was completely medical. Like when I went to school, college, everything. I graduated high school early so that I could do more college work to become a doctor. Okay, well, great. Now I'm not even going to med school. Okay, like things just happen out of nowhere.
Life changes.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Now I'm going to school for business, but I'm not telling anyone like where because
Right.
Like none of my friends know where I'm going.
Right.
Because I will not tell anyone anymore because it doesn't matter where I'm going, what I'm doing, because as long as I'm making a life for myself, I'm making myself happy because I don't need to impress anybody else.
And yeah, man, what you just said right there is probably the hardest thing for any teenage person to realize. Guaranteed the hardest thing for someone in high school to realize, or man, even some adults. I know a lot of millionaires. A lot of people that have a fat stack of cash in the bank.
Right.
And there's a lot of those people that are really depressed.
Oh, yeah. Money doesn't buy happiness.
Money is an illusion.
It is.
Money is a big illusion. 2 years ago, what kind of finances are a big part of life, I think. And so I'll give just some personal experience because that's all I can go off of. Neither of us have any educational background in this, so we're just going off personal experiences.
Accounting sucks, I'll say that much.
Yeah, accounting's awful.
I'm taking accounting and I have a C, dude. I've been a straight A student my whole life, but my accounting,
yeah.
Continue though, sorry.
I pay someone to do that. Anyways, so I'll get a little personal about my finances. 3 years ago, I was working a job that, paid $15 an hour, and I could work as many hours as I wanted.
Right.
I was working literally 70 to 80 hours a week.
Jeez.
7 days a week. I lived at the place, so I didn't have to drive to go to work. I clocked in, I started working. As soon as I woke up and until I went to bed, or a couple hours before I went to bed, because then I'd go to the gym, right? So I'd work 80 hours a week, drive 30 minutes to the gym, work at the gym for an hour and a half, drive 30 minutes back home, eat, go to bed, right? I'm kind of a 5 or 6 hour sleeper.
Same.
So back then, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make more money. I couldn't make any more money because I didn't have any more time in my day, right? So this opportunity came along for me to buy this truck and start this business. I thought, man, no matter how bad this job is, this money is going to make my life so good. And so say I made $30,000 or $40,000 the year that I was working all those hours, right? I didn't work the full year, so I don't know how much I made. Anyways, now I probably make, tenfold what I made that year, right? In a year. But not a penny of that money made me any happier.
No.
I bought a brand new pickup. I went out and bought all the things I could imagine I wanted to buy, right? It's not like I did crazy things. I didn't buy like a bunch of cars or anything, but I bought a nice pickup, and that, buying that nice pickup gave me a huge serotonin rush. Huge serotonin rush.
You still have it?
Yeah. For, probably for a month, every single time I saw the truck, I thought, man, That's a bad rig right there, you know.
I mean, I saw you post on Snapchat the other day, so it's still kind of a bad rig.
It's a bad rig, but it doesn't give you the same serotonin rush.
Yeah.
You have to keep buying those things. Money is the biggest illusion in the world because I was no happier. I had the same financial difficulties when I was making $40,000 a year as to when I'm making however much I'm making now.
Right.
You know, and you know, when I was making less money, say I would be happy to go to a fast food place twice a week, right? Or go out to eat twice a week. And now, you know, I could go out to eat all the time, but going out to eat isn't good enough.
No.
Right? Because I can go out to eat all the time.
Unless it's Mexican food, because you love that stuff.
I eat a lot of Mexican food.
Dude, like every day.
But the point is money is an illusion. And no matter how much money you have, or no matter how much money you're showing people that you have, because I know a lot of people that have $400,000 or $500,000 houses, $200,000 cars, and they got like $2 million of debt, a bunch of credit card debt.
Yep.
A lot of people are portraying, they're living this Instagram lifestyle. They're portraying to all their friends that, you know, they have this big fancy house and they got these nice cars and their kids are wearing Nike clothes, or the kids are, you know, going to wherever kids go to get nice clothes now. They're wearing polo shirts, you know, and
Baby Gap.
Yeah, Baby Gap. And those people are just as unhappy as I was, or just as unhappy as anybody else is that has less money, you know. And that's a real hard thing for people to understand. And I never understood that. If I wouldn't have been in that situation, the situation I'm in right now, I would have never understood that. I would have been chasing my entire life to make more money. And, you know, actually about a week ago or so, I was having a conversation with a friend about money, and they had been offered a job. They made whatever, $50,000 now. They made $50,000 now, and the job they were going to get was going to make about $100,000.
Right.
And they thought that $30,000 was going to make them exponentially more happy, right? Because, man, if I can live off 70 now or whatever, then when I get $30,000 more, I'm going to be able to buy all these things and be so happy.
Right.
I said, man, I don't care how much money you make. I don't care if you make $10 million. That money will make you no happier than the money you have right now.
Oh, yeah.
You just get bigger financial problems and bigger aspirations, right? If you're chasing money is just a currency. You're just chasing to get more of that currency, more of those serotonin dumps,
right?
You know, and I want everybody out there to realize that whether you're going to school, you know, if you're going to college, whether you're going to college to do something that you love, or you're going to college to do something that you think your parents are going to make you happy, or that you think is going to make you a lot of money, you better get out right now. Yeah,
and that's what I realized. That's why I switched, because I was always focused about money. But I mean, I brought it up in, you know, the first episode. I wear all black because who says that my clothes are going to make me happy? No one cares what I wear.
Right.
People that are friends with me know that. Oh, I mean, he's wearing all black. Okay, I mean, it's an everyday thing. But they realize that I'm happy, or like that I'm, you know, that positive person, but that's not because of what I wear.
Right.
I mean, this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now was $9. $9. And it gives me the same amount of justice as wearing a $45 t-shirt that I used to buy from Patagonia. It does the same job.
It just covers you up, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
it just covers you up.
It's a shirt.
And all those people in high school, man, I'm telling you, when I was in high school, I did not wear a bunch of nice clothes. I had some nice clothes, you know. I bought them all, obviously. Most of them, 90% of them. And, you know, I would look at kids and think, man, I wish I had that pair of Nikes, or I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. And looking back, those kids with Nikes, they weren't any happier than I was. Those kids with the Nikes, that Nike shirt didn't make them run any faster.
No.
You know, those Nike shoes didn't make them travel a better path than me.
Right.
You know, so. But I think we're getting close to that 30-minute mark.
Yep.
And
I think we're actually going to transition into how, like, the meaning of
the
life.
real meaning of life.
We've really kind of just dodged it, but I think we're about to bite the bullet. But
so we're just giving you some underlying subtopics of the main event here.
Yeah,
we're about to go to the main card. We hope you join us. You can take a little break.
Yeah,
go get some water.
I will say, take a second, right? If you're going to pause this and then come back later, take a second.
Think of what your meaning of life is.
Well, but I was going to say, think about a blessing that happened in this past week and a bad thing that happened in this past week. Like what we started with, sit there, close your eyes, do what you need to, but just focus on something good and something bad that happened this week.
I don't think I said a good thing at the beginning, by the way.
No, you didn't. But we can get into it after this break.
Okay, let's do that.
Alrighty. It'll be real short.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right. Welcome back if you took a break. And if you're just sitting here through, the full hour, hey.
We're glad you stayed this far.
Yeah. I mean, like, high five.
Yeah. Okay, the meaning of life. That's going to be a tough one. But give me your... I feel like I talk a lot sometimes, so why don't you give me your meaning of life, KJ? And then I will give you my rebuttal.
All right. I've done a lot of thinking about this. This is one of those things that comes with, like, anxiety almost, where, like, I'm sitting in bed sometimes.
Can
like,
I pause
before
you?
Bed. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. For all the listeners out there, KJ and I don't talk about anything we talk about on the podcast ever. We never pregame. We never talk about subjects. We don't talk about anything because I want to learn at the same rate that you guys are learning about how KJ thinks, because I haven't known him for that long, and I think if we have that nice interaction, that it'll make it better.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, we met 3 weeks ago. Right. I mean, I've known Cameron and Noah for a long time, but I've learned so much about them in the past couple of weeks.
Right.
I mean,
so if there are pauses, or if I'm kind of stumbling over my words, that's why, because like I said, all of this is,
it's completely unscripted. We didn't even really talk about the topic. Like, we got here and we were like, what do you want to talk about? And then boom, it was like, okay, we're talking about that. And then we just start going. Yeah. So, like we said, it's completely unedited. So,
not that we're trying to not give you more of our time. It's just we want to be real, raw, and our true opinion, and not try and conjugate up something that we think will sound better than what we actually think.
Yeah.
Anyways, go back to your meaning. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Shoot, what?
Depression.
I don't know.
Anxiety.
Yeah. So I have, like, anxiety, and sometimes when, like, I'm going to bed, I'll have those thoughts like, why am I here? Like, what are the chances that I am here? I'm laying in this bed. I am, I've met the people that I have.
Like, fate, you mean?
Yeah. Like,
okay.
I talked about it last episode. There's like a 0.000 something chance that I'm alive and that I've met the people that I have and that I'm here.
Even that you're alive, man. Even that your mom had the ability to have a kid.
Dude, the fact that I popped out, that's like a 0. something chance.
Yeah, making...
Well, okay. Even then, I came out... I had a long talk with my mom. I was born dead.
Mm-hmm.
I was stillborn for 15 minutes.
I was stuck in the womb for like 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah. They had to get a suction cup, put it on my head. That's why
I literally came out dead. No heartbeat, no breathing, nothing for 15 minutes.
Crazy.
And they did resuscitations, and I finally crazy.
That's what's up with your
brain. I finally came out, alive.
Right.
So, like, what are the chances even then? I was dead for 15 minutes just to come back alive, or that I was even born. So, like, to me, it's crazy that I even have the opportunity to make it this far. Yeah. And I've had a couple when I was younger. I had a couple operations. I got my not my thyroids, but my tonsils taken out. Mm-hmm. And I had I don't even know what happened, but they were telling my mom that I almost had a thyroidectomy, which is when they cut the hole in the middle of your throat.
Oh, where you have the tube.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they were telling my mom that I might have to do that, and I don't remember the reason that it was, but I could be living with that, but luckily I don't.
Right.
So, I mean, it's crazy, everything that can happen. But like I said, I think the meaning of life is to die, obviously. You're born and then you die. Mm-hmm. But it's a matter of what you accomplish, what you learn, what you begin and what you end with. But in that time, who you impact. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, I don't know if have you ever heard of the egg theory?
Like the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's where you live every person's life, every single person. Like, I would live your life, and then I would live Noah's life after I died.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yeah. Until you don't make any mistakes?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I almost think that that's what life is that you have to, once you live the perfect life, is like when it will end.
I don't think there are any perfect lives.
No, there's not. So it's an endless loop of, you're going to be alive at some point. Or
so you don't think there's like, you don't think when you die in this life that you're done? You don't think this is the one shot you got?
I think this is purgatory. Okay. In terms of religion, this is purgatory because we're stuck in a loop of living through life, and you have to experience the goods and the bads, and then you're told that fate chooses whether you go to heaven or hell. So you're either eternally happy or eternally in sorrow. But life isn't like that. It's both. And life is a waiting game. You're born and then you die, or it can end at any given point. So I think that life really is like that chosen purgatory where you live both the good and the horrible experiences until you make it to the end of everything. And then that's when it's decided, okay, you're going to go to eternal happiness or eternal,
So do you think that if you mess up this life, you get another chance?
Yeah. I mean, I think that you have to live a perfect life in order to go to heaven. And that's what I think Scripture tells you is that...
Boy, I don't know. I don't think that.
Well, I mean, okay, not necessarily a perfect life, but you have to live...
Look, I'm not saying we have to agree on this.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee I'm not going to agree with what you're saying right now.
But I think that the meaning of life in my own life, why I'm alive, why I'm here today, what I'm doing, is to impact people. And that's what I've wanted to do my whole life. And I've thought about it like, why am I here? Like, why, like, what is, like, why am I alive? What is my purpose here?
I don't think you know what that is, man.
Well, obviously, I mean, no, I won't know for a long time.
I don't think you'll ever know.
No.
I think on your deathbed, you'll look back and you'll see all your accomplishments. And you'll think, I guess that's what I was meant to do, you know?
But I mean, even then, I think that the entire reason I'm alive is to impact people so far. Because I've met a tremendous amount of people, and I think I've impacted them in in both a good and a bad way. There's people out there that don't like me, and do I care about it? No. There's people out there that like me, and do I care about it? Yes. Because that means that I've impacted them in such a way that they respond by, being friends with me or acquaintances, or I hold some form of, wow, this guy, like, he's nice, or he did something for me. I said it last time, people may forget what you said and did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And, I mean, I met you, and since we've known each other, everything's just been, like, click, click, we've just made it.
Well, and, I mean, let's not make it sound like we're just this perfect friendship.
That's 100% not, no. Devin hates me.
That's not true. There are things that KJ does, or that anybody does, because nobody's perfect. And there are things that he does that I probably don't appreciate sometimes, right? And there are probably things that I do that you don't appreciate sometimes, right?
I appreciate you, Devin. Okay. Other than when you say sheesh.
Anyways, so
dude, sometimes you yell that. I'm just saying.
I know. So what I want people back to the whole meaning of life thing. I think the meaning of life, my meaning of life is not going to be your meaning of life, first off.
No, and no one's life's the same anyways.
Right. Well, this might be kind of a runaround answer, but I don't think it is. A lot of people talk about life, whether we're talking about successful people, and, a lot of people say, well, it was just my fate. Fate got me here. A lot of NBA players or singers or whatever will say, well, it was just fate. They can't imagine that the things they did in life got them to this incredible, stance in public opinion. I think there is some fate in life, whether it be your career or whether it be the people you meet or whatever. But fate is not... Fate... How do I want to say this? I think the meaning of life might be tied to some fate that is conjugated before you start your journey, right?
Right.
But fate doesn't get you through life.
No.
I think, and I might be wrong, I don't know. I think there's this grand scheme that, you have this projected fate in life, but if you don't work to get to that place, like, you can't just have fate and be the best basketball player on earth. Talent just doesn't get you that far.
Right.
Talent can get you to be able to shoot better or maybe have more hand-eye coordination, but it does not get you to be in the physical fitness to be able to run up and down the court. You got to put some cardio in.
Right.
You got to do some cardio. You got to go to the gym. You got to get good grades in college if you want to play, yada, yada. So I think when people say that the meaning of life is this or that, whether it be to be a motivational speaker, or to be a race car driver, or to be whatever it may be, a podcaster or YouTuber, or, a car salesman, who knows? No matter what that fate in life is, no matter how easy you think that projected outcome of your life is, you got to put some work in, people. Life sucks sometimes. And if you don't put that work in, then you'll never get to that fate. People that have a hard time in life, they've made bad choices in their life, and they're 45 years old, or they're 40 years old, or 30 years old, or however, and they're, say they're halfway through life, and they just say, well, I guess this was fate. I guess this is what God wanted me to do on this earth, or this is what, whoever you practice for religion, that guy or that gal or those people, that's what they decided you were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell you, that's probably not true. Because they might have had some grand scheme, this fate to make you a really popular person, but you made some wrong choices, and you didn't try hard enough in a couple things, and it took you down the wrong path.
Right.
I think fate is almost like you come to a four-way stop, right? And every day you come to this four-way stop when you wake up, or every major decision you make, or even some minor decision.
Just every decision.
Yeah. There's this four-way stop, right? If you go straight, you're going towards fate. If you go right, you're going another way. If you're going left, you're going another way. If you go in reverse, you're thinking back in life.
Have you ever seen the movie on Netflix, kind of a segue, where you get to choose the decisions that the character makes?
No.
It's a Black Mirror kind of episodic thing, and you choose decisions, and depending on the decisions, it changes the ending of the movie. It literally switches what's going on.
Yep.
So that's almost how life is. You can make a decision, it will completely change everything.
Mm-hmm.
But continue. Sorry, I just figured I'd...
No, you're good. But to summarize it up, I think everybody might have a direction in life before they know about that direction.
Mm-hmm.
But whether that direction is to be a musician or to be whatever, no matter what that fate is, I don't think God or whoever gives someone a bad fate. I don't think he says, this group of people, their whole reason to be on earth is to be a bad person and to be, in the slums of our cities in America.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that. Mm-hmm. I just think those people, when they came to that stop sign, that four-way stop,
something happened.
They made a couple too many right turns,
mm-hmm.
or a couple too many left turns, and then they couldn't get back to the road they were trying to get to, right? But if they would go in reverse, like I said, a couple minutes ago, if they would go in reverse and try and go back to that path, try and get back on the right path, they might be able to figure out their fate. There's a lot of people that go through life and have a horrible life until they're 40 or 50 or 60, and then when they're 60, they have this epiphany, and they realize that if they don't get going, they're going to be dead. And then those people create these crazy companies. Like, look at KFC. KFC, that guy Colonel Sanders was old as dirt when that became successful. You know what I mean? He was 60 or whatever when KFC actually started to take off. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he had major failures before that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm going to look back on life. I have looked back on life. And I spent a ton of money on things that just didn't pan out. I thought they were going to be better. They weren't. Yada, yada.
Right.
You got to move on. And I guess that's my meaning of life is there's fate, but no matter your fate, you got to put in some effort.
Right. And so how are we going to turn this into what we want people to think about when it comes to life? Kind of like like we said, the day-to-day motivation about what we're talking about.
Well, let me read this. These are my own words off of Instagram, and I think this is a darn good way to do it. Darn good way to segue. maybe I think that because it's my own words, but we'll see. Mountains were obstacles to the first pioneers of the world. Many died and didn't make it over them. We don't remember their names. If you want to leave a legacy, you have to push harder than those before you. With proper nutrition, all obstacles are mental. If you think it can't be done, someone mentally stronger is planning to do it. And I think that is the perfect explanation of life. If you have an idea in life and say it's to get over that mountain and halfway up you think that it's too hard, I guarantee someone now or later is going to get over that mountain.
Right.
Not because they were a better person than you, not because they were stronger than you, not because they had better training, but because sometimes you just got to dig deep. No matter how great of an athlete you are, no matter how smart you are, some things just aren't in your wheelhouse, and some things you just have to push through.
Like accounting.
Like accounting for KJ.
Yeah, awful. Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I think there's definitely people, and I was like it myself when I was younger, where something gets hard, and you give up right away. Mm-hmm. And there's some things that are like that still for me. That I mean, accounting, like when I do that, it really turns me off to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, right. You know, this is so awful. But then I
go into it with a pessimistic attitude.
Yeah, because I mean, I hate it.
Because you don't like it.
I know it's going to be a struggle. I know I actually have to work for it.
Right.
And so now I'm kind of coming to the realization, like, yeah, I have to work for it. I mean, I have it like my grade resembles the work that I've put in so far, but now it's starting to go back up because I'm finally putting more work into it.
Right.
So I think what we really want to get out to you guys, I think me and Devin both agree that in order to get somewhere, you have to...
Somewhere good.
Well, not even that, just to get somewhere, wherever you want to go.
Well, I mean, you can make wrong decisions, get yourself in prison.
But it's their choice. We can't, guide people. We can't tell people, be a good person.
We can't give you the answers to life. We're just we're just trying to get you down the right direction here, people.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we've lived great life. It's not like we're super successful people, and it's not like we have every single answer for every single person. But I can guarantee you the things that we say here can help everybody.
Yeah.
Do you hear that noise?
I do. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that was.
That was kind of eerie.
Oh. Some crazy hooligan out on the road. Hooligans.
Wow, there was another unexpected thing that happened right
Sorry.
there. But yeah, I mean, like we said, we can't tell you that we want you to be good people without giving you the options to choose the decisions you want to.
Without giving you the basics of how to be a good person.
Well, not even that, but people are going to choose what they want to do. We just want you guys to think about the bigger picture. We want you to realize that every bad thing that happens in your life will lead to something else that might be bad, and it's a matter of how you get over it, or it's a matter of how life goes on based on what you do.
Well, when I had this idea of starting the podcast, right? Mm-hmm. I never wanted to persuade people to do something. I never wanted to persuade people to vote for this politician, or persuade people to wear these clothes, or persuade people to move back in with their parents like Gary Vee. I didn't want to do that. All I want to do is give people the building blocks to choose from to make their life better.
Right.
All I'm doing here is giving you my past experiences and giving you the knowledge that I've acquired from a lot of really influential people in society in a lot of places, and how they think and how a lot of successful people think. And I'm just trying to get, everybody talks about this system that's failing all these people. Look, we all live in the same system.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the system's fault. It's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
If you wake up in the morning and you're more worried about buying a pair of Jordans than you are about paying your rent, I bet in a couple years you're going to be in a bad place.
Right.
You gotta have priorities in life, and those priorities should never be. Here's a big one: The priorities in your life should never be determined off of what other people think, unless it's your accountant. Then you should probably trust those people.
Yeah, I have to trust an accountant because I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I talk to my accountant every day. She's like, she's a godsend.
I was going to say, but like you said, I think you're right. There has to be priorities, and like we said, we can't tell people to choose a certain thing because, people are going to do what they want to.
I'm just giving you information.
Yeah,
people.
And it's kind of just like almost an advice.
And I want you to take this information. I want you to grow with it. I want you to be a better person.
Right.
But I can't do it for you. Yeah. All I can do is put this knowledge out into the airwaves and make it available for everybody to hear. And hopefully there are some people out there that take that information and make their life better, and that would make me very happy.
Dude, think about it. We're really just vibrations in people's ears right now.
I know. It's crazy. I still can't believe that we're doing this, but
that's nuts.
I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, that was really weird. I don't know why I said that, but
anyways.
Yeah, and so I guess kind of our motivational point that we're making is life sucks. It's going to suck. But how are you going to, wake up every day? How are you going to decide how the rest of your life goes from now on? From the decisions that you have that approach you, what are you going to choose? Is it going to affect, my happiness now or my long-term happiness? How are you going to utilize everything that we've said and brought up about, the meaning of life, what your meaning of life is, what your goal in life or, the fate that has been written out for you? Are you going to get there, or are you going to sit back and hope that life takes you there? Because like Devin said, you can't get somewhere in life without working for it. I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for me getting that job at Genesis. I quote unquote worked for it. Literally, to meet Devin, I had to work there to meet Devin.
And something to tie onto that. Life sucks. That's really easy to say. And that's really easy to hear. I've heard that a million times. My dad's told me that a million times. Well, son, life's going to suck. You just got to push through it. And there were a lot of times I wanted to tell him to go shove it, Like, look, dude, you don't realize how bad my life is. But every single time he said, well, I guess you're going to be out of luck then if you don't push through it because no one else is going to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hardest thing to hear for someone that doesn't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. Someone that thinks they're going through a hard time, I guarantee you someone else is going through a harder time.
Mm-hmm.
KJ talked about death. And death is a real hard thing in life. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people change their entire lives. There's been times where people have died in my life, and it's been real hard. But all those people that died in my life before they died made a real big impact on me. Or else it wouldn't have mattered, right?
Right.
And all those people had enough foresight to realize that it's probably going to make me really sad when they die. Because they knew they were going to die, obviously. And all those people said, man, anytime we talk about death, sorry if I get choked up here. Anytime we talk about death, they'd always say, when I die, I want you to be happy. Because I'm in a better place. And there's a lot of people out there, man. They have this life going, and someone dies, say their dad dies or some mentor dies, and they just completely change their life. They just completely change the direction of their life. Not on purpose, but because this death in their life just made them so upset. They just can't get past it. And I guarantee you that if those people were looking down, they'd be so mad at all those people.
Yeah.
Because a dead person, they're not coming back, bro. A dead person's not going to come back. No matter how sad you are, no matter how many times you go to church, no matter how many times you pray to them, they're not coming back. And you being sad about them isn't going to help anything. In the Bible it says that you should, and I'm not trying to get churchy here because I'm not really even a churchy kind of guy. But in the Bible it says we should cry when babies are born and rejoice when people die. Right? Because the world is a devilish place.
Right.
And that's a real good meaning to life. The world is a devilish place. And there's going to be a lot of people that you meet and a lot of opportunities that you have that could take you down the wrong path. But there's going to be a lot of people that you meet. KJ, you were one of them. Cameron, Noah. There's going to be a lot of people in life, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities that are really great. But they're going to suck. Those opportunities are going to suck hard. You know, everybody thinks that running a successful business is fun. I'm telling you right here, it sucks.
Yeah.
You know what's fun? It's fun being able to have your own schedule, and it's fun being able to pay your bills. But it's not fun to have all that stress. And it's not fun, you know, when the accountant comes calling and saying that.
Oh, 1 second.
Sorry. I had some mic issues there, or headphones issues. But when the accountant comes calling and saying we need more money, guess who's going to go try and make more money? Me.
Right.
I'm trying to climb that mountain. And it's not like there's not going to be a time in your life that it just gets easier, right? It's not like you're going to get to this benchmark in your life and everything after that's easy, because it's a mountain range. You know, it's not just one mountain, it's a mountain range. And there's dips and valleys and peaks and highs, and life's great if you make it that way.
Right.
But life's going to suck real hard if you look back at and think about all those bad things, especially if you think about, you know, especially if you think about death, man.
Yeah.
If you know, I know so many people that's just, it's debilitating. All they can think about is the people that have died in their life. They're more worried about the people that have died in their life than living their own life. You know people like that?
I do, yes.
Well, let me tell you something, people. Those people aren't coming back. And those people probably hate it that you're thinking about them so much.
Right.
You know, instead of being sad about it, you know, my uncle, you know, he's probably one of the most influential people in my younger childhood, you know, right next to, you know, my dad and my mom or whatever. But when he died, I got real sad. And there were a lot of things that, you know, I didn't like doing in life because we used to do them together. And, but when I realized that you just got to get past that stuff, it'll make your life so much better. And instead of thinking about how you can't do it with them, just try and do it. You know, like if you guys used to ride motorcycles together, man, go buy a motorcycle and remember him in a good way.
Right.
Don't make the rest of your life suck. You know what I mean?
And I was going to say, like, the other thing that I was, you know, thinking while you were talking is, you know, someone dies, and if it matters that much that you are upset, they definitely had an impact on you. You know? I mean, I know there's people that will go to funerals because, oh, I knew this person, and it's a sad environment and they'll cry.
Yep.
But the people that it impacts the most are the ones, like you said, that will sit and dwell on it.
Right.
Okay, well, take a day, you know, think about it, you know, get over it, you know, kind of just take some time, because like you said, they're not coming back. But if they mattered that much to you that it's, you know, breaking your heart, it's requiring you to take some time off, learn from, you know, think about everything that you did. There's a reason that they mattered.
You know, and going back to my personal experience, man, the day he died, I cried like a little baby, you know?
Yeah.
And every time I was crying, I was thinking, man, he's probably so mad at me, you know, for crying like this. This is crazy. But whether it's your grandma or a best friend or whoever it is, man, all those people, look, even people that took their own life, even people that committed suicide and took their life away from you, I guarantee those people don't want you to look back and be sad every day because they're gone. Look, they're in a happier place now. They didn't like the life they had.
And that's a hard thing to say.
That's a hard thing. That's not a hard thing to say. I could say it 100 times, easy. It's a hard thing to realize.
Yeah.
Look, there's people that just aren't happy in life, and I don't want any of those people to be on this world. But you know, I don't want people to be unhappy. I want them to be happy because, man, if you make the right decisions and you have a good outlook on life, it can be a wonderful thing. But to those people that, you know, do take their own life, and you sit there and dwell on it. I have a lot of friends that dwell on, people that have taken their own life. And look, because their life sucked, that doesn't mean your life has to suck because they took their own life.
Yeah, and I just want to say one more thing because we're approaching that hour mark.
Yeah.
And it's about impact, okay? The impact you have, the things that you say, the things that you do, never makes someone feel like the life that they are living they should hate. Never, ever. And I say that with, all disrespect, like seriously. There is no reason why someone that is living their life the way that they want to, the way that, they've, been raised, the way that everything is going on. There is no reason why you should be looking down on them for the way that they live unless it's something that's harming you, unless it's something that's seriously impacting you in a negative way, and then talk to them about it, like we said. But never make someone else hate their life because either you're unhappy or it's just something stupid. Because there is no reason why someone should have to take their own life because you were uncomfortable about it or you didn't like the fact that, they were doing something. There is no one that you should hate that much.
And to pony back off that, and then we'll let you guys go. We'll get off here. If you are acting that way to someone, there's probably two reasons. Either they've done something in your life and they've affected you in some way that you didn't appreciate, or they're more successful than you are. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bullying out there that happens because of success. There's a lot of people that don't like me because I got more money than them, or because I can do more things than them, or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you're bullying someone, or if you're tormenting them, or saying mean things to them, or whatever, maybe you should look back and
yourself. Yeah,
maybe you should look in the mirror. Maybe you should look in the mirror and think, why do I hate this person so much? Is it because he hated my guts in the first grade? Man, why don't you go ask him? Do you still hate my guts? We're in high school now. You still hate my guts? Because I still hate yours. Because you used to pick on me in first grade. And I guarantee most of those people could care less about what they did in the first grade. They probably have no idea that you hate them because, you picked on them on the jungle gym. They probably have no idea. And if you're picking on those people because they're more successful than you, because they had a better life than you, because they had a family. I didn't grow up with a family. I grew up with a parent and other family, but I didn't have this perfect picture family. Mm-hmm. And I hated people for that because they had that.
Yeah.
But if you're hating people because of what they have and what you don't have, if you can't acquire that, you can't make a perfect family. But you can sure prove to them that you don't need a perfect family to get somewhere in life.
Yeah, use it as motivation.
Right.
And
all adversities use as motivation.
Yeah. But I think we kind of left it on a really sore note there. Thank you guys for listening to the second half if you took a break and
we're
the
not,
whole thing.
I don't want to leave it on a bad note, but I think it's a good place to leave it because no matter what happens, no matter how great your life is, there's going to be days that suck. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be things you listen to, like this podcast, that are probably going to make you think about what you're doing in life and how you're treating people and how you're treating yourself. You should treat others just like you want to be treated.
Literally.
I mean, a lot of people don't think about that. Treat others like you want to be treated. If you don't want to be crapped on, in the streets, don't crap on those people.
Yeah, don't treat people like crap.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. So thank you guys once again. Socials, Life is Unedited, Instagram @IsUnedited, Twitter. We did start a TikTok. It should just be Life is Unedited.
Yep.
Thank you guys, and hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or night.
Make your life unedited. Life is unedited. Make it great. Make the right decisions. If you need help, talk to us. See ya.